Okay, packet 6. I'm looking at it again, and it is going to be super hard for me to teach this effectively and efficiently when we are not in class. So, because this is one of the topics we have not gotten to, and that's okay, no big deal. So I have provided the answers if you want to work through them on the answer document, but know that I'm not requiring you to do now. I'm not requiring you to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's a lot to teach through a video when we are not in class to work through it. So we are going to start right here on operations. So this won't take long. These are pretty simple. Or if you know how to combine, subtract, multiply, divide, you should be good. All right. All right, so right here on 5 through 10, we are given this important information right here. Okay? A of x, B of x, C of x, and D of x. All right, so what you are doing, first, number 5, it says D minus A of x. All right, all that means is D of x minus A of x. All right, so you're looking for D of x. Well, D of x is 4x cubed minus x minus our A of x, which is x squared minus 9x. Okay? Now, all we do is combine like terms. Do we have another 4 or another x cubed we can combine with? No. 4x cubed. Okay? Well, let me back up. What should I do with this negative right here? I should distribute. So 4x cubed minus x squared plus 9x. Okay, now let's simplify. 4x cubed, we've used that, minus x squared, a negative x plus a 9x is a positive 8x. And that's my answer. Okay, easy peasy. That's all you do. All right, next on number, make that bigger. On number 6, this time we are multiplying. So, B of x times C of x. So our B of x is 1 minus 5x times our C of x, which is x plus 3. All right, we've got 2 components. So what's the easiest thing for you to do right here? Yep. You knew it. The box. 1 minus 5x, x plus 3. Fill it in. Combine like terms. So we have a negative 5x squared minus a 15x plus an x plus a 3. When we combine those, we get negative 5x squared minus 14x plus 3. Very easy. These have got to be gimmies, guys. All you're doing is multiplying, adding, subtracting, dividing, everything you learned way back when in like the 4th grade. All right, number 7, we're multiplying again, except this time we're multiplying A of x and D of x. So A of x is x squared minus 9x plus 20. And D of x is 4x cubed minus x. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh, Miss Eller, we've only done a 2 by 2. box. Well, look, the only thing you do, okay? I'm going to write it over here so I have enough room. This time, we have 3 rows and 2 columns because we have 1, 2, 3 terms here, okay? So we have an x squared, a negative 9x, and a 20, 4x cubed, and a negative x. It all works the same way. 4x to the 5th, negative 36x to the 4th, $80x cubed, negative 20x, negative or positive 9x squared, and negative 1x cubed. Okay? Now, all we have to do is combine like terms. 4x to the 5th, we've used it. Minus 36x to the 4th, we've used it. Here we have an 80x cubed and a negative 1x cubed. When we combine those, we get positive 79x cubed, so we've used those. Plus this 9x squared minus this 20x. And that is my answer. Okay? All right. C over A of x, so that is just C of x divided by A of x. All right. So we have what? X plus 3 over x squared minus 9x plus 20. Oh, darn. X plus 3 over x squared minus 9x plus 20. All right, all we can do here is simplify that denominator. A negative 9 and a 20 would be a negative 5 and a negative 4. So we've got, I'm going to write it over here, x plus 3 over x minus 5 and x minus 4. Okay, do you have anything you can cross out? No, so we can just leave it as this. All right, and sometimes you may see, and I wrote this on your answer key as well, but if you set the bottom equal to 0, you would get x is 5 and x is 4. But in terms of this, if you graph this, it'll be one of those asymptotes where it's going to come really, really close to 5 and really, really close to 4, but it's never actually going to touch it. So in a case like this, this right here would probably be your answer where you just simplified, okay? Same thing with number 9. If you put B over D, there's nothing you can simplify, so all you're doing is writing that out. Now, what is different about 10, 11, and 12 are it's what we call the composition, and it's, did we write those down? We didn't even write those down. All right, let's go back real quick and write these. I'm sorry, I thought we had done that. F of x plus g of x. This is f of x minus g of x. This is f of x times g of x, and this is f of x divided by g of x, where g of x cannot equal that 0. Okay? Now, the composition, this is what this is talking about. It's read as f of g of x. Okay? F of g of x. Yes, I know it looks like a multiplication sign, but that right there means of. F of g of x. All right, so you work backwards. You plug g into f. Okay, so I'm going to write out here, work backwards. Okay, so let's go on down to number 10. And number 10 tells us a of b of x. All right, so what you're going to do first is you are going to write out a. X squared minus 9x plus 20. Anytime you see the x, that is where you plug in your b. So this is a, and b equals 1 minus 5x. So we work backwards. We plug b, b into a. So 1 minus 5x squared minus 9 times 1 minus 5x plus 20. So if you've noticed what I've done here, I've plugged b into the x of the a equation. Okay? Then all you do is you simplify. So this becomes, my nose is running. 1 minus 5x, 1 minus 5x because there's a square. All right, so this equals 1 minus 10x plus 25x squared. And then we combine or distribute negative 9 and a positive 45x plus 20. Combine like terms. 25x squared, and then we do our x's. So a negative 10 plus a 45 is a positive 35x. And then 1 minus 9 plus 20 is a positive 12. Okay? So that's how you do a composition. Now, on 11 and 12, you are adding one step. Okay? So we are still doing b plus d. But in cases before, we just plugged in the x. We just left it alone. In this case, we are saying b of negative 2 plus d of negative 2. So our b equation is 1 minus 5x. And our d equation is 4x cubed minus x. So now, every time you see an x, we plug in the negative 2. So 1 minus 5, there's the negative 2, plus 4, negative 2 cubed minus negative 2. All right, now you have to be careful here because you must use the parentheses. If you don't use the parentheses, it's not going to work. Okay, 1 plus 10 because 2 negatives make a positive, plus 4 times negative 2 cubed, so that's a negative 2 times a negative 2 times a negative 2, which is a negative 8. 4 times a negative 8 is a negative 32, and then plus that 2. Okay, we combine all that, 11 minus 30, and we get a negative 21. So in cases like these, when you see a number in that parentheses, you will get an actual number back. You will not get an equation, you will get an actual number. Okay? All right, here we are plugging in D of C of 7. So we plug C into D. Our D equation, 4x cubed minus x, and our C equation, x plus 3. If we plug in a 7, here we have 4 times not 4, we're plugging in C right here, sorry. This is 7 plus 3, which is 10. Now we take 10 and plug it into D. So 4 times 10 cubed minus 10 is 4,000 minus 10, which is 3990. Okay, work backwards. Plug the 7 into C, and then C of 7 into D. And you only work backwards for compositions. Got it? All right. On the back, we're taking it way back to topic 2. Find the inverse. All right, so remember, inverse. Swap x and y. Solve for y. Okay, so this is y equals 2x minus 7. X equals 2y minus 7. We add the 7. 7. X plus 7 equals 2y divided by 2 divided by 2. The inverse is x plus 7 over 2. All right, then you can graph those. You can just put them in your calculator and graph them. They'll look something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's the first line. The second line will basically, this is also 1/2 x plus 7 over 2. So that'll start at 1, 2, 3. And it will go up 1 over 1, 2 over 1.
We have finished our first testing session. At this time, English 2 students will go to the gym for a break. English 1 students will go to the cafeteria. English 1 students will have lunch from 10:30 to 11. English 2 students will have lunch from 11 to 11:30. Students, you will report back to your original testing rooms at 11:30. Monitors in these areas, please move students according to the testing day schedule. Thank you.
That's what you have to look forward to this week. All right, so right here, number 14, swap the x and the y. Okay, now we have to solve for y, but we have to get rid of that denominator. We multiply.
Alice Sewell and Lane Simmons, please come to the office.
All right, before we get rid of the 3, though, what can I get rid of? Yeah, the 6. So x minus 6 equals negative 4 over 3y. We multiply by 3 on both sides. 3x minus 18 equals negative 4y. Divide both sides by negative 4, and we get the inverse is negative 3 over 4x plus, if we simplify 18 over 4, you know that's 9 over 2. Okay, graph those, you'll see it. All right, next, quick and easy way to determine if they are inverses of each other is using that composition that we just did. So f of g of x equals x, and g of f of x equals x. So if you plug g into f and f into g, you must get x. If you do not get x, it is not an inverse. Okay? Here's what I mean. So here, I've plugged it in. I'm going to distribute. I've got x plus 12 minus 12. Well, those cancel and I'm left with x. So that one works. So as long as I get x on the other side when I plug it in the opposite way, it is a function. This time I'm saying 1 over 8, 8x minus 12 plus 3 halves. And I get x minus 3 over 2 plus 3 over 2. Those cancel, and once again, I'm left with x. So are these inverses? Yes. Okay, you do 16 and 17 the same way. All right, remember last week we talked about 18 through 27, and we were going to mark it out because that is not covered in Algebra 2. So this is packet 6. I'll start on topic 7 in just a minute. Have a great day. Oh, be sure you're doing the quizzes too. I sent those when I uploaded it, so they're on there too. Bye.